red cooking kettles here. Down there, red copper. Down there, you've seen 2 coils. In them, there's steam circulating to heat the beer at the cooking temperature. You've also seen a metallic arm which will constantly turn. The hops may not stick together down in the container. 4 hours cooking time. What do you think? Will there be more volume after the cooking time or less volume?
More.
Those who say more are not supposed to cook at home, I presume.
Yes.
So less, of course, it evaporates. 1/4 of our volume evaporates. We started downstairs with 10,000 liters. After 4 hours of cooking time, it is very, very hot in this place here, and 1/4 of the volume has evaporated. So about 7,500 liters are left. It goes downstairs to take out the hops, and then upstairs into the attic. Have a look at this ceiling. Up there in the attic, there is a large red copper container, but it's a shallow one. It's only 40 centimeters high, 4 meters long, 4 meters large, 40 centimeters high. And with these 7,500 liters of cooking liquid, which get in at the end of the working day, so about 4 p.m., when everything is cooked and filtered, this container is completely full. And this cooking liquid will now cool down during one night, exposed to the Brussels air. Remember what I said about industrial beers? Never contact with oxygen. In the old way of brewing, it is exactly the opposite. And during that night of cooling, a miracle of nature happens in our attic. Nature will bring us the wild yeasts which will provoke the first spontaneous fermentation of our beer. How is that possible? What happens? You know that heat goes up. About 4 in the morning, the temperature of the liquid approaches 40 degrees Celsius. With microscopes, they have seen that at that moment of the night, the transfer of bacteria, tiny little living beasts, which we cannot see with the bare eye, we need microscopes to see them, living in the air of the valley of the Seine. That's the reason why I spoke about the Seine. They fall into the container. So heat tickles them, they awake, fall into the container, and the swimming lesson starts. They like it because this liquid is warm and sweet. Yum, 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 yum. They play in it. The next morning, the temperature has lowered to 20 degrees Celsius. They fill the barrels. Barrels in oak, chestnut, or acacia wood. And about 1 week later, the first spontaneous fermentation of our beer starts, due to the job done by these little beasts. 86 different bacteria have been identified with microscopes. The 2 best-known groups among them are called Brettanomyces bruxellensis and Brettanomyces lambicus. All the others being little nephews and nieces working together. These little beasts do not suffer of the pollution of the Brussels air. Each time we brew, the miracle starts again. But maybe you wonder why we are not brewing today. It's a working day. We cannot brew now. We can only brew in winter here. The night must be cold enough to cool such a big quantity, 7,500 liters, from cooking temperature late in the afternoon to 20 degrees the next morning. 30 years ago, we started brewing half October. We stopped beginning of May. Now we start beginning of November, and we stop half April. So we stopped 2 weeks ago. So the night must be cold enough. We brew 32 times in a winter. That's the maximum capacity of this little unifamiliar business located in the city. But even if they could extend, they wouldn't, because quality is far more important than quantity here. Saying that you can only brew beer with spontaneous fermentation in the Zender Valley is a bit of a legend. You can make it at home if you have much money to invest in your brewery, because you will not have any return of money before 3 years. Okay? Our beers are ready in 3 years. Pils beers, 1 week. Trappist beers, 1 month. Industrial Goes and industrial fruit beers, 3 months. Our beers take 3 years. Okay? It takes 3 years before nature finished the job. Okay? So this is, I should say, the beer we make here is the only real beer. What we call beer from modern production is a pale shade of what real beer is. Okay? This is the machine to crush the grapes. We're going upstairs to see where the miracle happens. Please follow me.